Would you like to catch a glimpse of a variety of whales and orca while enjoying a cruise ride through the infamous Farallon Islands? Why is the island almost inaccessible during a specific part of the year? Well, we have an interesting story to share. Here is proof some of the feared mammals are seriously misunderstood due to the strong defense they show. With that being said, did you know that catching a glimpse of a surfacing humpback whale is a once-in-a-lifetime experience? These giant mammals of the sea breach for air for just a few seconds before returning to the deep blue waters. A professional diver, James Mosquito, noticed a humpback whale on the surface of the water, but he could tell something was wrong. Mosquito was working with a team of volunteers by the Farallon Islands off the coast of San Francisco. He was working with a group of volunteers when they spotted the whale. What at first was a moment of excitement quickly turned to distress and anxiety. "I remember it like it was just a few minutes ago," Mosquito recalls. Usually, humpback whales only surface to the water for a moment or two before returning underneath. This whale was spending far too much time on the surface. Mosquito found it to be alarming. "The whale came up on a breath, put its eye above the surface, looked at me. I could tell it was looking at me and it just stayed there," James said. James swam out to the whale, put his hand on its eye and told the whale, "I'm here to help you, I'm not going to hurt you." Mosquito decided to take a swim around the whale to try and figure out what was wrong. He was stunned at what he discovered. It was amazing that this whale was still even alive. The humpback had a 3,000-pound anchor wrapped around its tail and body. Mosquito couldn't believe what he was looking at. He knew he had to do everything he could to free this whale. Some of the rope had gone into the blubber a few inches deep. He could sense that the whale was asking for his help by the sad and exhausted look in its eyes. After working for hours on end in shark-infested frigid waters, Mosquito was finally able to free the whale from the mile-long line that was dragging the mammal down. It was eventually able to swim free. Once the whale realized it was free, it began swimming circles and figure eights around its rescuer. The giant sea creature even swam straight toward the other divers, as if to give them all a big thank you for saving its life. It was clear that the whale was overwhelmed with gratitude and emotion. It's horrific to think about how long that anchor might have been wrapped around the poor thing's tail. It's such an amazing relief to know that it's free. The incredible moment is relived through the video below, and I'm sure it's a moment those divers will never forget. He spotted a humpback whale acting strangely at the surface of the water. The more James watched the whale, the clearer it became that something was wrong. Do you wonder how whales can breathe while they're sleeping? Unlike humans, humpback whales have to consciously remember to breathe, even while they're sleeping. According to Animal Planet, whales likely shut off half their brain at the time while they sleep, so they're still aware enough to breathe. Isn't it amazing to see the determination and hard work that these guys put into saving this beautiful animal? Some people might think it's strange that James spoke with the whale, but whales have feelings and probably understand more than we know. Researchers at the Mount Sinai School of Medicine in New York found that whales have the same specialized brain cells that are involved in processing emotions that are also found in humans and primates. So we're 100% sure that this humpback whale was very grateful for all the help it received. Please share this wonderful animal rescue if you agree. It felt like, to me, it was thanking us, knowing that it was free and that we had helped it, James Mosquito, one of the rescue divers, said Tuesday. "It stopped about a foot away from me, pushed me around a little bit, and had some fun." Sunday's daring rescue was the first successful attempt on the West Coast to free an entangled humpback, said Shelby Stout, stranding manager for the Marine Mammal Center in Marin County. The 45 to 50-foot female humpback, estimated to weigh 50 tons, was on the humpback's usual migratory route between the northern California coast and Baja California when it became entangled in the nylon ropes that link crab pots. It was spotted by a crab fisherman at 8:30 a.m. Sunday in the open water east of the Farallones, about 18 miles off the coast of San Francisco. Mick Menegaz of Novato, who organizes whale watching and shark diving expeditions on his boat, the New Superfish, got a call for help Sunday morning, alerted the Marine Mammal Center, and gathered a team of divers. By 2:30 p.m., the rescuers had reached the whale and evaluated the situation. Team members realized the only way to save the endangered Leviathan was to dive into the water and cut the ropes. It was a very risky maneuver, Stout said, because the mere flip of a humpback's massive tail can kill a man. "I was the first diver in the water, and my heart sank when I saw all the lines wrapped around it," said Mosquito, a 40-year-old Pleasanton resident who works with Great White Adventures, a cage diving outfit that contracts with Menegos. "I really didn't think we were going to be able to save it." Mosquito said about 20 crab pot ropes, which are 240 feet long with weights every 60 feet, were wrapped around the animal. Rope was wrapped at least 4 times around the tail, the back and the left front flipper, and there was a line in the whale's mouth. The crab pot lines were cinched so tight, Mosquito said, that the rope was digging into the animal's blubber and leaving visible cuts. At least 12 crab traps, weighing 90 pounds each, hung off the whale, the diver said. The combined weight was pulling the whale downward, forcing it to struggle mightily to keep its blowhole out of the water. Mosquito and 3 other divers spent about an hour cutting the ropes with a special curved knife. The whale floated passively in the water the whole time, he said, giving off a strange kind of vibration. When I was cutting the line going through the mouth, its eye was there winking at me, watching me, Mosquito said. It was an epic moment of my life. When the whale realized it was free, it began swimming around in circles according to the rescuers. Mosquito said it swam to each diver, nuzzled him, and then swam to the next one. It seemed kind of affectionate, like a dog that's happy to see you, Mosquito said. I never felt threatened. It was an amazing, unbelievable experience. Humpback whales are known for their complex vocalizations that sound like singing, and for their acrobatic breaching, an apparently playful activity in which they lift almost their entire bodies out of the water and splash down. Before 1900, an estimated 15,000 humpbacks lived in the North Pacific, but the population was severely reduced by commercial whaling. In the 20th century, their numbers dwindled to fewer than 1,000. An international ban on commercial whaling was instituted in 1964, but humpbacks are still endangered. Between 5,000 and 7,500 humpbacks are left in the world's oceans, and many of those survivors migrate through the Gulf of the Farallona's National Marine Sanctuary. Whale experts say it's nice to think that the whale was thanking its rescuers, but nobody really knows what was on its mind. You hate to anthropomorphize too much, but the whale was doing little dives and the guys were rubbing shoulders with it, Menegas said. I don't know for sure what it was thinking, but it's something that I will always remember. It was just too cool. Humpback whales hold a special place in the hearts of Bay Area residents, ever since one that came to be known as Humphrey journeyed up the Sacramento River in 1985. The wayward creature swam into a slough in Rio Vista, attracting 10,000 people a day as whale experts tried desperately to turn it around. Humphrey went back to sea after 25 days of near pandemonium and worldwide media attention. In the fall of 1990, Humphrey turned up again inside the bay in shallow water near the Bayshore Freeway, finally beaching on mudflats near Double Rock, just off the Candlestick parking lot. He remained stuck for 25 hours until volunteers, helped by a 41-foot Coast Guard boat, pulled him free and sent him back to the ocean. He has not been seen since. Humpbacks like Humphrey do seem to relate to people more than other whales, according to Stout. You do hear reports of friendly humpbacks, whales approaching boaters, especially in Baja California, Stout said, but for the most part, they don't like to be interacted with.